Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Camnet TV Main News. I am Precious Mzea Sakaliji. The headlines. UPND threatens to drag public media to court. The PF labels UPND as crying babies. Zambia keen to register BAROTSE floodplains as a World Heritage Site. And in international news, at least 40 persons die from 3 road accidents in 2 days in Cameroon. And in sports, government aims to enhance funding to rugby. Join me with the main news in detail after this commercial.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
And now the main news in detail. The power utility company ZESCO has dispelled claims suggesting that the current erratic power supply being expired in some parts of Lusaka is due to load shedding. Speaking to Camnet News in an interview, ZESCO spokesperson Henry Kapata has attributed the power cuts to maintenance works being carried out by the utility company. Mr. Kapata says the utility company undergoes maintenance works on its machinery in months of June, July and August, hence the erratic supply of electricity. He has since assured the general citizenry that the load shedding is a thing of the past.
What happens in June, July, August is that we tend to do some maintenance works and sometimes make a total replacement of those installations that have seen better days, of course in preparations for the rainy season. Because these are installations that are exposed in the rainy season, then we have frequent power interruption as a result of these installations that have seen better days. So this is the period that we carry out maintenance works, and in most cases we engage our customers suggesting that this is basically what is happening. But with regards to what happened last night, there were quite a number of trippings happening, because that is also part of fault resolution and fault finding, because we use power to determine where there is a fault. As of yesterday, we had 3 cases of vandalism in selected areas, and equally we had some trippings as a result of one transformer where some vandal was trying to siphon transformer oil. Because you know that when they siphon transformer oil, they sell it to the unsuspecting long-distance truck drivers.
Parents of school-going children at Nakala Community School of George Compound have charged that it is almost impossible for their school-going children to achieve quality education. The parents have complained that the school lacks in essential stationery such as books and chalk, and that the school only has 2 teachers who work on a voluntary basis. And school director Nyambe Mbumawe says the school has never received any COVID-19 personal protective equipment which the school currently needs.
Education is the key driver of development, as a well-educated population, coupled with the necessary skills, drive the development agenda of a country. It is for this reason that the United Nations General Assembly in 2015, to which Zambia is a member, placed education on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals to be achieved by 2030. However, for parents whose children go to Nakalala Primary School in Lusaka's George Compound, quality education for their children is only a pipe dream, as they narrate that the school lacks stationery such as chalk, textbooks, and also only has 2 teachers. They further explain that while there is a free primary education policy in the country, taking their children to public primary schools is too costly for them, as they are often requested to pay for school necessities such as cobra, brooms, and school renovation projects, making them opt for the community school.
tema kala niyo chepekera munga pano pa school futi katima kango oti mujumpise bana mapeleke ku maskulu yenangu chifukwa cha matamaki so that's why timafuna pamene pano manyenga ati monga government yafuna kuti ichiteko tanizo panakalala pano nishizankala ni improvement ya school ino pano so namunga mweta kambira ndiye vuto ili pano mabooks niyo chepa mateachers niyo chepekera futi niyo waya futi ndiye vuto mipando yonkala bana ba school kulibe
pafunika manzi bambiri
chabe mafunika munga pano mwanti.
School Director Mr. Nyambembu Moye adds that the school is also constructing 2 classroom blocks for grade 5 and 6, which he says there is need for well-wishers to come on board. Completion of the project is estimated at a cost of 30,000 kwacha. Mr. Mbumwaye has also called for the distribution of coronavirus personal protective equipment, stating that most community schools have never received such items.
So we find that we have some structures here which we need to finish. We have an office here as well as a classroom for grade 5. Teachers, we only have 2, but it's a small number, so we need more volunteer teachers again to come and assist the school because it's a community. Even the government, if they can assist us 1 teacher or 2, it's most welcome. So it's really very hard, and the community seems is pushed hard by the economy as well. So we are asking for the well-wishers, even the government, if it can assist, they are welcome to assist us. Anyone who will come forward to assist will be most welcome.
Only 9 years remain until 2030, when the country hopes to achieve quality education for all its citizens. Zipporah Mushala.
The United Party for National Development, UPND, has threatened to drag Public Media House to court for what they term unequal coverage of opposition political parties. Speaking when he addressed the media in Lusaka Friday, UPND Legal Affairs Chairperson Jack Mwimbu has alleged that access to public media has been a challenge for opposition parties in the country. Mr. Mwimbu says this is despite the public media houses being founded by taxpayers' money. And Mr. Mwimbu has called on the police service to treat all political parties equally.
The United Party for National Development, UPND, has described campaigns for the 12th August 2021 general elections as being one of the most challenging in the country's history due to what they have termed as limited access to public media for opposition political parties. UPND Legal Affairs Chairperson Jack Mwimbu has cited Article 45(1) and Article 47 of the Constitution of Zambia, stating that this is against the Electoral Code of Conduct. Mr. Mwimbu, who was addressing the media Friday, states that there needs to be equal coverage of all political parties in the country by public media houses, whether print or broadcast. It is in this vein that the party legal affairs chairperson states that they will be left with no option but to drag public media houses to court if the status quo remains the same.
Zambia prescribes that elections in the country have to be conducted in a certain manner and in compliance with the Constitution of Zambia. The Constitution clearly states that elections must be conducted in a free and fair manner by those who have been mandated to manage the elections in this country. Any credible broadcaster, when you want to air a story, you have to give the other side an opportunity to be heard. Have been in the forefront of enhancing tension in this country. I can give you the example of what transpired in Kanyama. Without due regard to the feelings and the aspirations of the UPND, ZNBC went on rampage, lining up individuals who made comments that are detrimental to the aspirations of the UPND during this election. without due regard to the ethics of journalism in this country.
We'll have no option but to take the matter to court, like we have taken ZNBC to court over unfair coverage.
Mr. Mwimbu has also demanded for an explanation from the police service as to why movement for opposition political parties has been challenging in the country, despite issuing the service with a campaign timetable as instructed.
Zambia police officers are afraid to lose their jobs. As a result, they have ceased to be professional in the manner they conduct themselves. We call upon Inspector General Police Kanganja and Charity Katanga to ensure that there is professionalism in the Zambia Police Service and ensure that there is fair play in this electoral process.
Zambia will go to the polls in 5 days' time. Zipora Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The governing Patriotic Front has accused the opposition of being crybabies, alleging that they have no message for the Zambian people. PF mobilization member Biswell Mtale says it is erroneous for the opposition to accuse the Patriotic Front of conniving with the Electoral Commission of Zambia and the Zambia Police to disadvantage them in the forthcoming general election. Mr. Mtale says the opposition has no message for the people of Zambia, hence resorting to complaining about anything. Mr. Mtale made these remarks during a public rally in Matera constituency where he was drumming up support for the party's parliamentary candidate Mal Sampa. And Mr. Sampa says he has traceable record of success as a former lawmaker, adding that he wants to continue from where he ended.
That is true. That is their complaint. They are opposing everything that Jeff is doing, and they are competing with everything that Jeff is doing. We're not going to deny that. They are saying that we are doing that. We are doing that. That is their cry, baby. They are opposition. So I cannot comment on that. It's not worth it. It's not in doubt. The ground is fertile. I'm here in Matelo just to check around, and I'm supposed to meet with the MP for Matelo. Miles are supposed to be here. We need to have a check at the head count of our people to see them around the crowd. Definitely we are ready to go. We are a winning team. Our commitment and our manifesto has not been proven by themselves. The people of Matero, they have already experienced the manifesto of Patriotic Front, and we shall continue. We are not starting anything new. We will continue delivering our manifesto as we have said already. This is a fulfillment. We have already fulfilled it. Moving with that is right.
10 suspected United Party for National Development supporters have been arrested by police in Mununga, district of Lopule province. Police spokesperson Esther Katungo has alleged that on the 5th of August 2021, a mob of UPND supporters descended on 2 police officers who were assigned to monitor the procession of the party's running mate, Mutale Nalumango, in the district. Mrs. Nalumango was in Mununga to pay a courtesy call on Chief Mununga at his palace.
We wish to state that our officers in Mununga of Luapula province arrested 10 suspected UPND cadres for offences of conduct likely to cause the breach of peace and assault on police. It is alleged that on 5th August 2021 at around 12:05 hours, 2 police officers were assigned to monitor the procession of Mrs. Mutale Nalumango, who is the UPND presidential running mate, who was in Mununga to pay a courtesy call on Senior Chief Mununga at his palace. A mob of unruly cadres descended on the 2 police officers and assaulted them. The chief retainer in the area alerted police in Mununga on the occurrence, and this is how reinforcement was sent. And the officers that were sent there managed to arrest 10 suspected UPND cadres for the subject offences. These suspects are currently detained in police custody, and at no point was the presidential running mate for the UPND arrested by police. We wish to refute reports on social media that police working together with cadres of the Patriotic Front attacked peaceful UPND cadres, including Mrs. Mutalina Lumango. No such incidents happened, except for the violent conduct of suspected UPND cadres.
The Secondary School Teachers Union of Zambia Sisters has charged that the introduction of loan scheme for teachers by the Teaching Council of Zambia should be received with caution. Sisters speaking in an interview with Camnet TV News, Sisters General Secretary Situbekiso Wamuyua says the initiative has both negative and positive effects on the teaching fraternity. Mr. Wamuyua says the move is positive if it does not attract over borrowing due to the low renting rates.
Several teachers' union had welcomed the idea of relieving teachers from their indebtedness when government announced the debt swap initiative. According to information obtained from the National Action for Quality Education in Zambia NACASE, 80% of teachers are living in debt, a situation that has been affecting productivity among the teachers. While government has come to the rescue of the teachers, the Teaching Council of Zambia has announced the introduction of the Teachers Loan Scheme to teachers countrywide. According to the Teaching Council, the purpose of the Teachers Loan Scheme is to help teachers access affordable loans at low interest rates. The question one would then ask is, will the initiative not prompt teachers to borrow even more? The Secondary School Teachers Union of Zambia says tools when asked had this to say.
Loans we acquire should not be too expensive to pay back. We are in this situation of indebtedness because our loans are too expensive to pay. So if there is an institution that is going to provide a cheaper loan, it is one way of keeping us away from indebtedness. So there are two aspects here: spending the loan prudently and acquiring a cheaper loan, which the Teaching Council of Zambia is ready to provide.
He adds that the current lending rates by the banks are high and that the idea may bring about competition which may prompt banks to reduce their lending rates to get a share of the market.
The contribution of the Teaching Council of Zambia will not only affect the teaching sector, but the entire financial sector, as it is going to impact in a positive way by reducing the lending rates on the environment, because it is going to provide a challenge or a competitive arrangement to the lending institutions, who shall also be compelled to reduce their lending rates if they have to enjoy a fair share of the market. So it is a positive move, not only to the teaching sector, but to the entire financial sector. But we have to be cautious as civil servants not to go into borrowing because the loan is cheaper. But we can only go into borrowing if we are borrowing, not necessarily for consumption, but for investment, so that the loan can repay itself.
While the debt swap initiative has begun to take off, literacy among teachers when it comes to debt still remains high, which calls for financial education among the teachers before such loan schemes can be introduced. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, government has commissioned 3 newly constructed markets in Mufumba district of Northwestern Province. Speaking when he commissioned the markets on behalf of President Edgar Lungu, Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Willis Manjimena says people should not politicize the commissioning of the markets. And Chief Kizela, who spoke through his representative Rabson Samola, has thanked the government for bringing development closer to the people and has urged the people of Mufumba to reciprocate by rallying behind Edgar Lungu.
Mufumba district of Northwestern Province is home to small-scale copper mining activities. While the district has been plagued with uprising activities, the expansion of the district calls for developmental projects in the area. And government of the Republic of Zambia has commissioned 3 newly constructed markets in the district, namely Kiansonso, Shukwi and Kazila Market. And speaking when he commissioned the market on behalf of President Edgar Lungu, Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Willis Manjimila says government is committed to bringing development development in the area.
And no one should speak contrary to these developmental projects. Therefore, the government of the Patriotic Front will not be deterred from doing what is necessary. Because to some people, as we are commissioning this market today, is political. But to us in government, this is developmental projects. It should continue whether with election or no election.
And Chief Kazila, who spoke through his representatives, thanked government for bringing development to the area.
I just want to thank your government and our government of the Patriotic Front for the development that they've brought to my chiefdom. I want to give a direction to my subjects that let us rally behind Dr. Edgar Chagwarungu, that we give him a vote as a honor of our appreciation.
Aneba ba PS government wenu witu kwa shateba kuna kubamba mali abura andane tweba tunakonsha kutambulako bya ba government wenu byavujisha twawutire malaiti amasukuru twakaminwenga basaka kuba byepi nkambo ba PS government wenu kutangitwa na barungu inewe government wa mwekamba ubera kusebeza malaiti nao ae afikao.
And Mufumbwe PF aspiring member of Parliament Davis Imbaula says the commissioning of the market stood as one of the main projects government had to implement to foster trade and improve livelihood activities across the country.
Challenge of an FRA slab for sale of our farm produce. We are moving to other places to go and sell our maize and soya, and hence limiting our privilege government has given us to buy from us. Kindly help us sort out this matter.
Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Issues to do with the housing deficit has for a long time been a hurdle in Zambia. This is despite decent housing being one of the human rights concern. According to the People's Process on Housing and Poverty in Zambia, Acting Director Melanie Chirwa says little political will is being shown to help alleviate this problem. Ms. Chirwa says this is evidenced by lack of priority by politicians as seen in their manifestos.
According to the new national housing policy, the housing deficit in Zambia currently is estimated at 1.5 million and is further projected that by 2030 this figure will rise to 3 million if nothing is done to address the problem. With only a few days to the country's general election, stakeholders have noted with concern the lack of political will to address such pertinent issues in major political party manifestos. According to the People's Process on Housing and Poverty in Zambia, PPHPZ, through its acting country director, Melanie Chirwa, housing for most vulnerable groups in society has not been given priority by politicians. She added that the lack of proper and adequate housing has resulted into the proliferation of informal settlements, which are characterized by limited or no access to basic services such as water, toilets, and overcrowding.
A lack of investment in decent and affordable shelter. This is evident from the unsatisfactory budgetary allocation over the years. The 1996 housing policy recommended 15% of the national budget to be committed to housing. However, this has never been achieved, with the highest allocation not surpassing 6%.
The PPHPZ director therefore demanded that political players need to provide a roadmap in line with the country's legal and policy framework to address systematic social, economic and governance barriers that have long disadvantaged the vulnerable people.
Housing is a human rights issue. We implore every political party vying to form government to protect the right of the poor and vulnerable to access decent and affordable shelter. Therefore, this is a clarion call to all parties vying to form government on August 12 to show stronger political will and to take lead in driving the housing agenda for poor and vulnerable.
Meanwhile, the Housing Homeless and Poor People's Federation has highlighted the need for women to be given priority in land allocation.
As Federation, we have a very, very huge number of people who are homeless. And we are talking of fighting homeless. As a government, we want the government to support us. And how is that support going to come? Maybe we are talking of the government of the day. Government that will come, that the government that will come after the 12th, any government that will come after the 12th of August. We are urging that government to work with us, the Federation. We want support. We want us to be capacitated. So if you empower a woman, you empower the entire nation.
The high rate of population growth and urbanization in Zambia requires that there are clear urban policy guidelines and strategies to guide housing and urban development. Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Republican Vice President Inonga Wina has dispelled speculations that people around the BAROTSE plain are likely to be relocated following the impending nomination of the area as one of the World Heritage Sites. Mrs. Wina says to the contrary, the move to seek the least at the BAROTSE land on the World Heritage Conservation will promote tourism and culture. The Vice President says efforts are being made to ensure the surrounding villages are preserved. Mrs. Wina said this in Lusaka Friday during the official launch of the campaign towards the nomination of the BAROTSE plain as one of the World Heritage Sites. Meanwhile, the BAROTSE Royal Establishment is delighted with the nomination of the BAROTSE plain as one of the World Heritage Sites.
The campaign, dubbed From BAROTSE to the World, aims to actualize this vision through the proposed inscription of the BAROTSE floodplains as a World Heritage Cultural Landscape. The BAROTSE floodplains and its associated traditions and customs has been a place of interest both locally and internationally. Republican Vice President Inonga Wina has dispelled speculation that people around the BAROTSE floodplain are likely to be relocated following the impending nomination of the area as one of the heritage sites. And to further demonstrate commitment, the Vice President contributed 50,000 kwacha towards the preservation of the royal village.
Fears and misconceptions that land will be taken away from local people and impoverish the area in perpetuity are false. It is important that the various communication products being launched here today help to dispel these misconceptions.
Meanwhile, the BAROTSE Royal Establishment is delighted with the nomination of the BAROTSE plain as one of the heritage sites.
Out by the river, BAROTSE Royal Establishment, BRE, has worked very well with the government of Zambia, together with WWF, to find the solution towards Makono Royal Village.
Fund for Nature Country Director Nachila Lankombo observed that the preservation of heritage site is key in promotion of tourism.
Seeking also to raise awareness to the threat that is faced by the Makono Royal Village, which is at the center of the heritage and the culture of the Lozi people. The Makono village is threatened with potential threats of being submerged by water. For those who know the history of the Barotse kingdom, the Makono village is central to the Lozi ship and the Lutunka ship. These are critical assets or aspects of the area that we cannot afford to lose as a country and arguably as an international community.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
You're watching Camnet TV Main News. We now take our first set of commercials. We'll be back with more news after this.
In this fast-paced era of industrial boom and population growth, there is need to invest in smart ways of managing electricity and water consumption and reducing utility billing costs associated with the postpaid billing system. At Zavenda Electronics, we manufacture right here in Zambia different types of high-quality smart electricity and water meters to customer specifications. Zavenda Electronics water and electricity meters help you monitor your usage and gives notifications such as low units, tampering, low battery, and many other features. These easy-to-use meters makes it easier to buy units even in these COVID times and top up just from the comfort of your space. Favorable contract terms are available to both electricity and water utilities. For more details, get in touch with us on the following numbers: 0956 580 349 or 0977 498 318. Zavenda Electronics, the real deal.
On August 12th, we have a choice to make. Perhaps the most important choice in our country's history. One option is to stick with this government and keep things how they are. But after 10 years, we all know what this will mean. More unemployment, more empty plates, more empty pockets. But yet, alternatively, we can embrace change. Change that will create jobs, reduce prices, and more importantly, put food on our tables. Change that will restore hope and move Zambia forward. Sometimes, politics can feel complicated, but this choice could not be clearer. Change for a better life, or 5 more years like the last 10. On August 12th, the choice is yours. The future of your family, the future of our country is in your hands.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
At Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Master Sign, we will make it shine.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties, on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Thank you for staying with us. We continue with the main news. 5 Indian nationals, among them a chief executive officer, have been dragged to court for allegedly stealing a bill of quantities from Mount Meru Limited. This is in a matter in which a 41-year-old chief executive officer, Shanta Kumar Chambal Jain, has been jointly charged with 4 others. The 5 have since been charged with 2 counts of theft.
5 Indian nationals have been dragged to court on theft and corrupt transaction allegations, among other charges. The accused in this case, namely Chintar Kumar, 41, a chief executive officer, Delefai, 46, Ashish Kumar, 42, Shani Kumar, 47, and Kaupish Patel, 46, all residents of Lusaka, appeared before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court Friday morning for various charges. In the first and second count, where they are charged with theft, contrary to Section 272, they are accused of having stolen company information, namely bill of quantities, diagrams and images relating to the construction of a filling station valued at 95,000 kwacha, the property of Mount Meru Limited. Further charges alleges that one of the accused persons, Mr. Dilifai, disclosed Mount Meru company information to unauthorized persons using his phone through a WhatsApp group, and in this count, he has been charged with unauthorized access to interception of or interference with computer system and data, contrary to Section 49 of the Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Act No. 2 of 2021, and he has been also charged with an offense of prohibition of use of computer system, contrary to Section 63(1)(2) of the Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Act No. 2 of 2021. Is further accused of corrupt transaction with private bodies, contrary to Section 20(4) of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012 of the laws of Zambia. He is alleged to have, on the 5th of May 2021, with intent to gratify Chimumbwa, an engineer at Mount Meru Limited, and promised to offer him a sum of 2,000 kwacha in order to induce him to provide confidential information for Mount Meru Limited to Surya Biofuel Limited. And when the matter came up Friday morning for plea, the state informed the court that the accused cannot take a plea because one of the offense that they are charged with needs consent from the Director of Public Prosecution. The matter has, however, been adjourned to the 25th of August 2021 for mention, awaiting consent in order for the accused to be tried. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Lusaka Magistrate Jennifer Bwalia has postponed bail ruling for the 5 suspected Patriotic Front Chadzanga youths who were filming themselves while brandishing offensive weapons and sending threats to unknown persons. This is in a matter in which 22-year-old Kansim Lungu and Justin Chanda, both carpenters, Joseph Fesa, a taxi driver, Joseph Chanda, a bricklayer, and James Sikalumbi, all from Chazanga Township, are charged with 1 count of proposing violence contrary to the laws of Zambia. When the matter came up Friday morning for ruling on the bail application, Magistrate Walia informed the accused that the ruling was not ready and postponed the matter to 18th August 2021. The 5 accused persons were recently arrested by the police after a video of them circulated on social media parading with machetes and wooden planks while sending threats. Residents of Misisi compound have called on the Zambia police to intensify security at the footbridge in the area. The residents have complained that the footbridge has become a danger to the community as several attacks have been reported of late. In an interview with Camnet News, the residents have explained that passing through the bridge is no longer safe both during and night time as residents fear being attacked by unknown people.
The Zambian Constitution, Chapter 1 of the Laws of Zambia, provides constitutional protection for civil and political rights. People mostly feel safe when they are protected and their rights respected. However, this is not the case in Misisi compound of Lusaka, as many residents fear for their lives and have since called on the Zambian police to come to their aid. This here is a footbridge constructed to help people of Misisi cross the road without being hit by cars. But the purpose for the construction of the bridge has not been effective because people barely use the bridge in fear of being attacked by unknown people. Residents here have since called on the Zambian police to intensify the security in the area.
At least ba police bakazipezi ngako pamele panja ba police kuno bali kwa misi skulu ba police now banje ba police bameti now bamba poache kugira vyamba bachamba baje babasecha manje kuti bakwire bakawala la pera pamele ya babalaka.
Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The government has announced that the World Bank, through the COVID-19 Emergency Response and Health System Support Project, has provided support to construct and install oxygen plants in selective hospitals in Zambia. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Dr. Kennedy Malama, says this will ensure availability of medical oxygen in the hospitals and surrounding areas. Dr. Malama has named the hospitals as Ndola General Hospital, Lusaka at the University Teaching Hospital, Livingstone, Solwezi and Chipata. And the Permanent Secretary has reiterated that Zambia is not mixing doses for the vaccines. And Zambia has in the last 24 hours recorded 680 new confirmed COVID-19 cases with 12 new deaths. Dr. Malama has since appealed to the general public to get vaccinated as soon as possible to curb the COVID-19. The Association of Zambia Women in Mining has called on government and other stakeholders to financially support the sector. In an exclusive interview with Camnet News, Association President Grace Ifrati says the opportunity for women in the mining sector are ripe, hence the need for stakeholders to support the sector. And Benuti Women in Mining Director Tambani Zulu has called for mining companies to collaborate with women actively involved in mining.
Zambia is highly dependent on mining as its major productive industry. In 2018, the country was the world's 7th largest producer of copper. According to the latest EITI reporting, Zambia's mining sector contributes about 77% of total export value. However, recent researches also indicate women comprise between 15 to 20% of the ore mining industry. The representation of women in the sector remains comparatively insignificant compared with their counterparts, but a handful of women have already demonstrated commendable progress, with the numbers growing steadily. During an exclusive interview with Camnet TV, the Association of Women in Mining, AZWIN President Ms. Grace Ifrati, has reviewed the challenges faced by women in this sector.
Since we don't have the machinery, we are using shovel and a pick, and in mining you cannot succeed with a shovel and a pick. We are looking at equipment like excavators. We are looking equipment like dampers. We are looking equipment like chisels. So this needs money. That is number one. Number two, when we want to go and borrow from the bank cannot look at us because we don't have bankable documents. When I say bankable documents, because we have not done the drilling. Cold drilling, you know, in exploration you need machinery. So these are the things that are really taking us back.
Ms. Ifrati has since echoed the need for women empowerment in the mining sector.
As a president of Association of Zambian Women in Mining, I'm appealing to well-wishers, to whoever will be listening to this conversation. We are in need of the equipment.
And BAROTSE Women in Mining Director, Ms. Tambani Zulu, says there is need for collaboration with women by other mining companies.
That our plan was to work with these mining companies around, but they haven't really been that accommodating with regards to maybe doing some sort of collaboration, work with them, or just allowing their women to talk about what challenges they face working for the same companies or working on these mine sites.
Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Disability Rights Watch has challenged government to support businesses for the physically challenged persons by buying off their products. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Association National Coordinator Bruce Choma says most physical challenged persons survive on hand-to-mouth businesses, hence the need for economic support. Mr. Choma says the coming of the COVID-19 pandemic has worsened things for the people across the country. He has since called on government to come up with a deliberate plan on how to support and empower persons with disabilities going forward.
And the fact that we are experiencing a general rise in the cost of living, the circumstances of people's abilities have become even worse. And it's important for government to immediately put aside resources to provide support to households of people with disabilities. Not only through social protection, which is very important as well, but also by providing actual opportunities for people's abilities to engage in the economy, by either getting empowered to practice agriculture, entrepreneurship, or any other forms of sustainable economic empowerment programs through their families, so that they are able to become productive and contribute to the growth of the country, but also to surviving the harsh economic times that we are going through. It's very important also for the country to explore options for buying off products made by people with disabilities. In the past, during the UNIP days, the government used to empower people who are visually impaired to develop various products from the farms, and government itself would buy them off, as a way of supporting them to continuously produce. And we need to get to a point where sheltered employment must also begin to be explored in Zambia. In South Africa, they are doing that a lot. You find that their factories, they manufacture wheelchairs, they manufacture all sorts of assistive devices and other things used by industry, specifically by people with disabilities. They come together and they work in those factories and they make money and they're able to receive pay at the end of the month.
We'll take our second set of commercials. Coming next is international and sports news.
To you, our dear esteemed customers, as ZAMBIA, we're glad to bring something of excitement to you, and it's a promotion we've dubbed Yatu, which simply means it's yours. And in this promotion, we're giving benefits that are tailored to you specifically as a customer, depending on the profile or the segment that you're sitting on as a customer. And in this promotion, we are saying you will get from as low as 13 Ngwe benefits amounting to over 500%, and it's all for you so that you get more benefits. So to know more about Yatu, stay on.
Yatu is a promotion that offers ZAMBIA customers amazing benefits that are made just for you. ZAMBIA customers will get amazing benefits of over 500% bonus back the value that they use when they subscribe to a Yatu offer. Yatu benefits will be usable for ZAMBIA to ZAMBIA calls, ZAMBIA to ZAMBIA SMSs, and browsing on pay-as-you-go defined rates. For you to access the amazing Yatu offers, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 1 to purchase the offer that best suits you. ZAMBIA customers will have the ability to actually purchase the Yatu benefit more than once. So this means you can purchase the offer twice, you can purchase the offer 3 times, and the benefits will be accumulative at the end of the day. Yatu benefits will be able to be redeemed if you subscribe to the same offer within a 5-day period. So if you have unused benefits from the previous day and the expiry date comes, you can still subscribe to the same offer within 5 days and your benefits will be able to accumulate. How amazing is that? For you to check your Yatu benefit balance, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 2 and you'll be able to see your current balance.
Lungu and the Patriotic Front have transformed the transportation sector by facilitating the construction of bus stations around the country. Vote for Edgar Chagwa Lungu and the PF that have brought you change.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
For too long, Zambian people have endured tough times, high levels of unemployment, lack of freedom, ever-increasing cost of living, poor health facilities, corruption, and injustice. Time and time again, we have been promised a better tomorrow, but things are only getting tougher. My fellow Zambians, someone is listening. Every outcry, every obstacle and pain brought by the trials and tribulations you're facing, he is listening. A leader with a heart for the people of Zambia. Only he can fix what is broken. A leader who stands for unity and prosperity across all ethnic, religious, and gender considerations to live in harmony in a free and democratic society. Change is coming. Change that will restore the country and build it from the ground up. Let's make impactful change by voting Hakainde Hichilema.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel. Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us.
I sincerely apologize for that. At least 40 people were killed and dozens injured in Cameroon on Wednesday and Thursday in 3 road accidents involving travel buses, the Ministry of Transport had announced. The deadliest accident occurred Thursday morning in Bachenga, 60 kilometers north of the capital Yaoundé, and killed 22 people in a collision between a travel bus and a truck carrying sand, Transport Minister Jean-Ernest Masena Ngale Bihebe wrote in a statement. In other news, Tigray forces seized Thursday Lalibela in Amara region, known for its rock-hewn cathedral and UNESCO World Heritage Sites. This comes a day after aid supplies, including food and non-food items, fuel, reached Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region. It is estimated that thousands of fighters entered Lalibela, known as the Second Jerusalem, causing many people to flee for their lives.
Mangled wreckage lay strewn on the side of the highway as onlookers paused to take in the gravity of the carnage. This is the aftermath of a collision involving a bus and a lorry, in which 22 people died. The accident occurred Thursday morning in Bachenga, 60 kilometers north of Cameroon's capital Yaoundé. The crash was so severe it knocked seats out of the bus. In total, at least 40 people were killed in 3 separate accidents in the Central African country. So we were told that the accident happened around 11 p.m. There was a bus coming from Yaoundé to Batwa. The logging truck was going to Douala via Yaoundé. So there was a bad overtaking, and the bus hit the logs before going towards the ravine, as you can see. Road accidents involving passenger buses are frequent in Cameroon. In late January, at least 53 people were killed in a collision between a bus and a truck carrying fuel in the west. The country's transport authority blames the carnage on overspeeding and the bad state of some roads. To minimize deadly crashes, Cameroon's transport ministry recently said vehicles involved in accidents would have their licenses revoked immediately.
Tigray forces seized Thursday Lalibela in Amara region, known for its rock-hued cathedrals and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This comes a day after aid supplies, including food and non-food items, reached Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region. It is estimated that thousands of fighters entered Lalibela, known as Second Jerusalem, causing many people to flee for their lives. The U.S. urges rebels in Tigray to protect the monolithic churches.
We've seen the reports that Tigrayan forces have taken Lalibela. We call on the TPLF to protect this cultural heritage. We also call on all parties to the conflict to end the violence.
According to the UN, 175 trucks with humanitarian supplies arrived Mekele Wednesday, the capital of Tigray. These include 50 trucks that crossed into Tigray over the past month. Ethiopian government in recent weeks have accused 8 groups of arming Tigray forces without providing evidence and suspended the work of 2 international aid groups. With the recent occurrence in Lalibela, many are scared and worried about the damage to the ancient structures.
Chadian troops are making their presence in the Lake Chad region felt. The vast area of water and marshland bordered by Niger, Nigeria and Cameroon as well as Chad has been the focus of the army's attention after the killing of 24 soldiers by suspected Boko Haram fighters. The Chadian army has increased patrols in the region in response to the attack. Insurgents from Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa Province, or ISWAP, have been using the region for years as a haven from which to attack troops and civilians. They also use the area to engage in smuggling and to extort civilians, fishermen and business owners. A joint campaign by Nigeria, Benin, Cameroon, Chad and Niger has seen the groups mostly confined to territory in Nigeria's northeast. But they have taken advantage of the region's overstretched militaries to launch attacks in Cameroon and Niger.
We now get into your sports item. The Rugby Union of Zambia has charged that rugby is not a well-funded sport in Zambia due to its nature of being more like a hobby. In an interview with Camnet Sports, Union Communications Manager Cecilia Tresha has made an appeal to youths to join in the rugby sports. Ms. Tresha says rugby is not only about fitness but discipline as well.
Rugby union in Zambia is a minor but growing sport, of which it is currently ranked 67 worldwide. The Zambia National Rugby Union has about 9,880 registered players and 3 formally organized clubs. This is why the union is calling on the young in the country to participate in the rugby games. Zambia National Rugby Union Communications Manager Cecilia Tresha has encouraged young people to play rugby because it teaches a lot of discipline.
Yeah, rugby is still considered as a minor sport in Zambia, and just like anywhere else in the world, for any sport to thrive, we have to start it early. So charity begins at home. Let's encourage our young ones, let's encourage the children to play rugby. Rugby is not only about fitness, it also teaches a lot about self-discipline. It also teaches a lot about respect for other people, for self, respect for the team, and but most importantly, the biggest thing that I've noticed that rugby teaches is discipline.
Ms. Trisha has called on the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Child Development to help fund the club.
Physical, so that physicality comes with a lot of rules that protect the players. So to the parents out there, to the guardians out there, to the older brothers and the older sisters, let's encourage as much of our children or as much of the younger ones to play rugby. There is some schools rugby. For schools that don't have rugby, you can try to visit some clubs that have for children's rugby. Never mind the contact. The children don't start with the contact. They first start with the...
Rugby is a great sport for boosting upper body strength with strong arms needed for tackling and throwing. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
That sports item brings us to the end of Camnet TV main news, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. UPND threatens to drag public media to court. The PF labels UPND as crybabies. Zambia keen to register BAROTSE floodplains as a World Heritage Site. In international news, at least 40 persons die from 3 road accidents in 2 days in Cameroon. And in sports, government urged to enhance funding to rugby. Before we go, here's our Camnet verse of the day, and it's coming from the book of Romans 10, verse 16 to 17, and it reads, "But all did not obey the gospel, for Isaiah says, 'Lord, who has believed our message?' So faith comes from what is heard, and what is heard comes through the message about Christ." That is all. Thank you for joining us. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Continue watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Pleasant viewing.